Okay, then I want to do something else quickly. The planing tack.
Planing tack.
Planing tack.
Planing tack.
So
Dang.
I used to teach.
Forecast is looking at.
I used to teach 6 crashes to a planing tack. So I gave you 6, and then I was like, "Don't do that. It's not fair to make people crash." Blah blah blah. So then we changed it to 6 planned experiments. 6 planned experiments. Don't care if you crash or not for a planing tack. You're never going to plane out of a tack, except if you're foiling, like you see the foil racers plane through a tack, or technically if it's offshore winds and an onshore wave, and you're sensitive enough, you could be able to pull off a planing tack. So my goal, again, I'm not going to plane out of a tack, but my goal is to get to the other side planing. You can tack anything, like you should be able to tack it. So first things first. First experiment, I'm ripping along, I'm going scary fast. I'm going to grab the mast while I'm still in the harness. I'm going to unhook. I'm going to hang down with the meat cleaver bent back elbow, putting myself some weight into the diet plan here. I'm going to take my back foot out of the foot strap, bring it forward on the board. I'm going to take my front foot out of the foot strap, bring it forward on the board, and then I'm going to see how long I can coast before I get off a plane. Experiment number 1 is learning to move forward to get my foot in front of the mast while I'm still planing and not have it slow down. And if I can't do that, I got to work on hanging. I don't want to bring the sail forward with me. I got to keep it back and move out in front of it and go. You guys spend all of your time learning to plane and move back on the board. You don't spend any time learning to plane and move forward on the board.
Right.
Yeah. How fast does a shortboard turn upwind when you're on the back of it?
Really fast.
Pretty fast.
Fast, like,
Right.
you know, a lot of times, like, oh, you hit 12 before you ever knew what happened. The reason people suck at tacking is they carve up wind from the back of the board. Then all of a sudden they're at 12 and they're still on the back of the board and it's a short board. So it's like, oh, clunk, clunk. By then, you know, it's over. So we're going to learn to carve from the front of the board, which is kind of a cool thing, which means I will be able to get to the other side on a full plane because I'm now in the middle of the coasting platform. So experiment number 1 is to move forward and coast until you're out of speed. Back elbow down, front arm on the mast. Experiment number 2. I've never carved from there, so my goal is to try to get 100% of my speed to 12 o'clock. Forward. From here, I'm going to pike carve. Right? Drop the mast out, drop my ass out, carve up.
Straighten your legs.
Yeah, straighter legs. You can sit on this a little bit, but with my elbow down, I'm not going to sheet in that much anyway. And I'm losing lots of weight on the diet plan here on this mast. Right? I'm just trying to sheet out and pike carve. Right, so plan number 2 is to try to get, goal number 2 is to try to get as much speed upwind as possible.
You said sheet out, pike it, so like we did before.
Yeah.
A little bit, okay.
But because you're forward, and more than likely your apparent wind is going to be greater on this one because we're really working on going fast. On the upwind 360, you can kind of lose a little speed on the way in.
Okay.
This one I want to really go. So I want, not me go, I want boat speed. So plan experiment number 2 is from my newfound forward position is to sheet out and carve and try to take as much speed to, really I want to take full speed to 1 hour before 12, the short side of 12. Because you're not really going to take speed through 12 in this case, but just getting that 1 hour before, that's my goal. Number 3.
How powered is the sail when you're approaching at 11 o'clock?
It's off.
It's totally off.
Yeah,
so
or I'm using a little balance.
Okay.
A little balance.
Yeah.
Now, experiment number 3, I've never done my feet planing, fully planing. And experiment number 3, I want to convince myself to do my footwork for my tack when I get to 11 o'clock at full speed or 1 o'clock at full speed. Don't care what happens. I just got to convince myself, because everybody gets there, and then you guys all are like, okay, let's just wait for that comfort zone. All right, I like the speed. Let's go. Right? You're not really sure that you really want to go at full speed. That seemed like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Right? So we all have our kind of thing. So as we say in Canada, experiment number 1, new favorite place. I'm carving upwind. At this point, I shift my weight to my front foot. It's very important to learn to shift and lift and not push off. You get all excited when you're weighing your back foot, you're going to push off. So I carve up I sheet out, I start to carve upwind, I shift the weight to the front foot, I reach my old backhand to the new front side of the boom at the same time I step my old back foot in front of the mast base. I try to do my hand tack and footwork, and then I fall over. You're gonna get blown over, who cares? But you got yourself to move going full speed, and you really tried like quality footwork for your tack, right? The normal tack footwork that hopefully you guys know and do. Are you with me? So that's number 3 experiment, is I just got to convince myself to try this thing. At speed, around the front, full clip. And everybody blows off the front. You guys are like,
11 o'clock.
yeah. Go. 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 Gotta go. So, let me ask you questions. If you were windsurfing along and you knew you might lose your balance sailing, would you rather lose your balance falling towards upwind to try to save your balance? Or would you rather fall and lose your balance going downwind to try to save your balance?
Upwind so I can water start.
Yes, upwind, so I might not fall because I could actually maybe save myself in a water start position without falling. And falling towards the wind allows me to maybe use the wind to save my ass. Agreed?
Yeah.
If I go around the sail in a tack at 11 o'clock, and I was going to lose my balance on purpose, you're telling me, Drew, I should lose my balance falling towards the wind because I stand a chance. Goal number 4 is a sail tackle. Your goal is to step around and tackle the sail on the windward side. The only way I stand a fighting chance is if I go on the upwind side. So, plans crash number 4. You'll see where this is going soon. Ripping along, front hand mast, unhook, hang down, take forward my new favorite spot, sheet out and carve. Okay, man, I hit 11 full speed, shift my weight, front hand to the reach and step back, and fall on sail. Tackle the sail to the windward side because you went so damn early. That's a lot harder than you think. You'd be like, and I'll keep score. I'm like, Drew, it knocked you 3, it got 3, and you got 0. Like, you need to score. You got to tackle that sucker. You got to take it down. Because
I tend to fall backward, or if I lose wind, I fall backward. It happens all the time. That when I lose a tack, I'm not tackling the sail. I'm always.
I know. That's why you can't make them.
Right.
I know. I know what I'm doing. So the idea.
That was just a light bulb.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to go early to keep the shortboard moving, but then everybody goes around the sail and off the other side. You got to like, right? I want to go up, move the sail over, come back, and tackle it. So. Again, you said, Drew, if I fall to the upwind side, I have a fighting chance. If I can step around the tack and fall into the sail, I have a fighting chance because the sail can fix me. Where if I go around to the outside, me and the sail are going the same way all the time. It's a pylon. So, plans crash number 4. Sneak forward, reach and step, fall on the sail.
That's the opposite of what I said. And I mean, if the wind's blowing the sail and I'm going that way,
you're out of yes. If you go at 12, if you go past 1, it's the other way. If you turn past 12, it's different. This is before 12.
Okay.
Yeah, he's right. So now, if you're backwinded and if you're falling, how do you sheet in? If you're backwinded and you're falling, which hand do you push on? Your backhand. Plan experiment number 5. I'm going to tackle the sail and push on the backhand. Right? So here we go. I front handed the mast, we unhook, we sheet out, we carve upwind, we reach and step, we fall on the sail Tim, and we push on the backhand. So I might fall on the sail, and then it might lift me right back up, and then I might fall back to Drew's favorite falling side. So the last thing we need to do in number 6 is fall into the sail and push it to the back. Right? We unhook, we carve upwind, we reach and step, we fall right into that sail, we push down on the back arm, we leave the sail to the back, and it rounds us up and lifts us up, and now I'm standing straight upwind, luffing and happy, and then I can head off the new direction. I don't care how choppy and how rough and how small anything is, because I'm really not doing this on, without some crutch the whole way through. We go early, we fall on it, we backwind it to get our balance and turn upwind, then we can hang out and sink. Who cares if the board sinks because I'm straight upwind, and then eventually I can go my new direction again. Go early, go early, go early, and it's about, good footwork accuracy coming around. I do the planing backwind jibe, so that's going at 3 or 9 o'clock, doing the tack hand and footwork, and then planing a jibe through there. So there are cool stuff that you can do from that. I do the Siamese, the same thing as the back-to-back version of that, but you got to learn how to get yourself around that sail at speed. Now, when you guys are going at 1 o'clock, the sail luffs right near the board. It's pretty easy to get around it on the tack. But when you're going at 3 o'clock, it's a lot harder to get around to the other side, right? Because the sail would be in the way if it's luffing. But if you're going at 3 o'clock, but you're going 30 miles an hour, your apparent wind's in the front, so your sail's pinned in there. So I can go at 3 o'clock if I'm going fast enough, because my sail thinks I'm going upwind because I'm going fast enough, because my apparent wind is so great. So this stuff is even easier on your kind of biggerish sails where your apparent wind is so fast, and you're just, because then you got time to get over there and carve before the sail wants to sweep you off the board. This is a little bit harder on 4.0, 3.5.
When you say go at 3, you mean
step around. Right.
Okay.
Right. And convincing yourself on a big sail with such apparent wind, you can really go at 3 and get over there and then carve the rest of the way through the tack. It looks really cool.
I'm so used to sheeting in as I'm going around.
No,
Sheeting.
yes.
Yeah.
Not just you, the entire windsurfing population leans the sail back and sheets in when they carve into a tack, which makes no sense to me. If you're carving into a tack, why the hell would you? Okay, if it's going to be a tack, having the sail to the back makes sense because I need to go around it eventually.
Yeah.
But it is not a turning function, and sheeting it in makes it harder to carve. Like the pike carve is the first time you pike carve, you're going to be 2 hours past where you've ever gone before.
Yeah.
You'll be like, cool, who knew? You know, it's a neat feeling.
Does that just happen naturally though? Because that allows you to depower the sail as you're carving upwind.
Everybody carves upwind with their head over the water. If your head's over the water, you need wind in your sail to keep yourself there. So everybody's going into the move, and they're like, my head's over the water, I need a sail to hold me up. I got to get myself to a position where I wouldn't use the sail. You know, once you carve from the front of the board, these are new things for you guys to play with. So carving from the front's a new experience, but it really, you know, it can be nice and smooth. One of my pet peeve in windsurfing 5 years ago, and I would, you know, every year I have something I'm going off for fun. And the thing was 5 years ago that I used to always say is, how come we have zero problem taking 100% of our boat speed to 6 o'clock, but not to 12 o'clock? Like when you're planing at 3 o'clock, you have no trouble getting 100% of your speed to 6 o'clock. Why the hell can't you take 100% of your speed to 12 o'clock? All right, so Ryan's out ripping along, we get a button, he pushes the button, and the sail and everything disappears. He would be able to keep 100% of the speed to 12 o'clock because the sail wouldn't distract you. You could focus on the perfect carve. Right? But
Minus air resistance. But
so you see where I'm kind of leading with this stuff. So where this came from is this theory that I had a few years ago that's like, why, you know, I know why, but it's really fun to make fun of this because you can be better than that, right? You can take speed through the wind if you really focus. And foiling's helped too, because in foiling you're so, you know, sensitive. And you can foil through tacks all day long, which is the coolest shit anyway. I can do foiling through an old school duck tack on a windsurf foil. I can't do new school for some reason on a windsurf foil, but windsurf foil is a little harder, but you can still tack around on the wing. It's really, once you know, the thing I was showing you this morning, and once you learn the timing and how to stand, doesn't take, you know, it takes people very little time to get that. A pike carve, sheeting out, learning to tackle the sail. Anytime you're in trouble, falling into a sail full of wind is a good idea, because that means you can save yourself.
Yeah.
Falling away from a sail full of wind is a bad idea, because you guys are pushing each other over.
I mean, I always cheat my fast tacks by backwinding, right?
Yes, that's not cheating. That's what you want to do.
Okay.
That's exactly what I'm telling you here.
That's what I do. What happens to me is I slow down and I don't get the sail out of the way. It gets to the other side and it falls on me.
Yes, you're this guy. You go around your sail and off the other side. So we got to learn on you going forward, moving the sail laterally and coming back. Like every tack, your sail kind of goes rail to rail. Your reach step.
Go.
Yeah, because you want to backwind and you want to fall into on a small.
Right.
You want to backwind and fall into that finish or that exit.
So you're not carving after 12 o'clock or after
on a
you
tack?
go around.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
And by going, you
backwind
have
is-
to go. So this is important, because if you go too far on the tack carving, then the nose will go under and you won't get it back up again. The thing about backwinding is it allows you to uncork your nose. So if I go at 1 o'clock, if I go an hour early, there's 12. If I go an hour early and the nose sinks, I can backwind, get the nose up, and then sheet in and go the new direction. Where if I carve an hour past, now when I reach the step, if the nose is under, I can't get it back up. Yeah, that's right. You get that dive noise.
Go early.
Yes, we all tacks should be done. I mean, if you're really, 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 really good and you can keep it above the water the whole time, you could go late if you keep it planing, but it's really almost impossible. Going early and backwinding is guaranteed to, if you F up and stick the nose, you'll save it, right? And it'll get it back up again.
Oh, yeah, that was going to be so helpful.
We'll see. You're going to be, what's going to happen now is you're going to think too much. After
I've
I
been-
leave,
Yeah.
you're going to have to be like, dude, Ryan, what did he say again?
I've been working on
Yeah.
this. I've been working on this, but not with the stepping forward.
So I love this
God,
lecture. This is a really silly. Now, I have a lot more to this lecture, but I just needed to give you guys, because you guys all have the talent and have done this before. But those 6 experiments, right, Drew? I know you're going right to number 5. I don't need those. I can just go. But I'm just saying, there's a piece to work through this where I go, all right, I've really never planned to see how much boat speed I can have with moving the sail forward.
Right.
And then when you carve from the front, 12 o'clock gets there a lot faster than you think. Once you're up there, you're like, oh shoot, man, this thing's flying. Don't want to move yet. And then you got to convince yourself to move. And then you got to convince yourself to move and tackle it. It's so funny. I'm maybe like, Drew, sail has 5, you got 0. How do you go around and tackle the sail? That's not easy. You know, because full speed, you got to fall on that bitch and make it go. And then once you have that, you'll never miss.
I think another thing this helps is if I'm sailing with a great big cambered sail.
Yeah.
I get around to the other side and it's so freaking heavy to bring it
That
back up. But here I am, if I've got it forward already.
This really, what I'm
faster
showing you
and
does
earlier,
not
so.
really work as well with Cameron sail. It does, but because Cameron sails move across on their own, so you tend to be earlier on the Cameron sail. But if it's a big race sail and a big race board, it's heavy, so you have to be late and you have to tend to save. And then there's a grip throw. When I teach race board tacking, we do a grip throw and slide. Watch this hand. So if I'm going to do race tacking, now it's no longer side to side, it's back to front. You'll see me do the throw slide, right?
What's the slide?
I
Your
throw.
hand. Okay, right.
Right, so I throw slide, then I'm going through, throw slide. I teach that sometimes with duck tacks where we go cross and then I let you slide to the end. It's like a grip, grab, release, grip. So there are some moves where sometimes just doing that, oh, I'm going to lose it. If I'm smart enough to release the grip and re-grip, then I'm not going to lose it anymore. I was able to change the hand positioning without actually moving it.
Yeah.
So the throw on tack goes here, and then you throw, because you're going to go back to a longboard or a race tack on big stuff is back to front. On a shortboard, it's rail to rail, side to side.
That's helpful. Great.
Anyway, Tim. Okay. Stop smiling. This is not supposed to be fun.
It's not fun. Okay,
You're not-
sorry.
you're having
I'm having a terrible time.